The school board sets policies, as you know, on boundaries, feeder patterns, transfer policies. It establishes special programs, magnet schools, determines who gets transportation, and other elements that can affect campus enrollment. Regarding all of these that I just named, which issues or which elements might you be willing to change to help balance enrollment across the district? And Leticia, that question is for you.
Sorry if you said it and I missed it.
Oh, sorry.
These enrollment issues, it's not a one thing. It's not just boundaries, just programming, just, you know, this neighborhood gentrifying, that neighborhood, this freeway is in the middle. It's all of those things combined that have to be brought to the table to solve this. It's not, if it were easy with one singular thing, it would have been done. But these are harder issues, and it's going to take collaborating with the communities to sort through where to make those adjustments so that we can have better enrollment across the district. We can address the declining enrollment. I mean, all of these pieces fit together. It's not just a boundary issue or just an academic programming issue. Transportation plays a huge issue in so many different pieces. I mean, you hear about transportation when you're talking to families that have special ed students, you know, the magnet students. You guys just the transportation piece is huge. So it's going to take a collective thinking for us to get our arms around how to solve these hard problems.
Okay, and as a follow-up to that, before you go away, you mentioned transportation. Could you kind of prioritize 2 of the 3 of the top elements you think you would tackle if on the board to help balance enrollment across the district?
Academic programming, we need to have a strategic academic plan to see where these programs are. People either love their school, go to their school, or away to their school. They leave for programming, or they leave for extracurricular, or they leave to the Fine Arts Academy. So we need to have a strategic academic plan to see where are these programs across the district, making sure those are equitably dispersed around so that the students that want them, we're giving it to them. So, you know, it's looking at those things and making sure we are doing right and getting those resources to the students that need them.
Okay, great, thank you very much. Mike, same question, your thoughts on balancing enrollment across the district?
Yeah, and assuming that you want those 3 things from me also, I'll just start with that. And so the 3 things that I would address would be special programs, the boundaries, and transportation. And this directly follows my response from earlier about you know, a vision where the district moves towards not having boundaries. And so what you have are intended consequences and always unintended consequences, but the intended consequences of having no boundaries in the district, again, with those guardrails to ensure that segregation does not perpetuate, is you have the ability to have less comprehensive models everywhere. You have the ability to stop forcing many programs in one campus when parents are asking for it. And instead, you're able to ask parents, pretend like anywhere in the district, just tell me what you want academically. Do you want dual language? Do you want IB? What is the programming that you want? And instead of having to try and cram it in the school closest to their house, we have the ability to then think much more strategically in thematic approaches across the district. And I think that would honestly bring back a lot of students that have left for private schools, for charter schools, homeschooling, because we create an opportunity where schools can actively be redesigned based on what people are asking for. It creates a much more flexible district, in my opinion.
Thank you very much. Nolita, your thoughts?
Yes, ma'am. So I would say the 3 things, first looking at feeder patterns and making sure that our vertical teams have like clean alignments. I know that that's the case for schools that are west of MOPAC, west of Lamar even, but for some of our other schools east of 35, and this is coming directly from families who live this experience. like it feels like they have a spaghetti bowl of feeder patterns, and that's not right. So I think we need to look at that. And then also transfer policies. I am 100% in favor of having us take a look at how the transfer policy is currently written and where improvements can be made. Last year during closures, there was a parent within our Peace community who shared with our entire school the suggestions that she submitted to the board and the district, asking for a more equitable approach to transfers, so that it's not just kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy where you reward folks who already have access to advantages. And then the last thing I would say is, reaching families early, well before enrollment, making sure that word of mouth is positive because it reflects the good work that's happening on those campuses. So having that word of mouth coming from families to other families. And then along with that, teacher retention, engaged employees who are supported, receive training and the resources, they're going to be at their best.
Thank you very much. Jared, we'd like to hear from you on this issue.
Awesome. So as for me, I'll tell you this, many of these issues, they are not new to AISD. These things have been perpetuated for far too long. And so, like I said from the beginning, that's one of the reasons why I'm running. I'm tired of hearing these empty promises. We're going to adjust the boundaries, or we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So for me, I would say, as someone that's boots on the ground action, let's do it. We need to have those tough conversations. So boundaries, making sure, and then also it's about the programs. Program access is a very big one. We know LASA and things like that, and our Keelan magnet programs, those things, we need equal access to those programs. And that's ultimately what's gonna help us out when it comes to enrollment. Making sure that families have the choice, that they choose what they want in their campus. In addition to that, I mean, there's so many other things. They all kind of go together to do the same thing. So basically, and then additionally to that, I know that our district also needs a very strong marketing campaign so that we can bring our students back. It's about radio advertisements, television advertisements, public transportation advertisements. So on the side of our Capital Metro school buses, let's put some AISD, and show the wonderful programs and things that we have in our district. That's ultimately what's going to help us with our student enrollment. And I'm ready for AISD to make that big investment. And so we need a leader that's going to press for that.